Hello my beautiful friends and welcome to Tailor Made Beauty by Kris. Today we are talking about the Natasha Denona Mini Glam palette. I am a huge fan of her mini palettes. You know, her palettes, larger palettes, are either $65 or $129, and that's a lot of money. And okay, if you want to compare it to drugstore, $25 for a mini is also a little on the spendy side, but I feel like $25 for usually the quality that you get in one of these mini palettes is worthwhile. And I own almost all of the minis, and I gotta say, this is my favorite. The quality is fantastic. The mattes blend really well. The shimmers are gorgeous. And I think it's totally worth the $25. Let's go ahead and swatch the colors in here. So this shimmer is called Golden Flesh, and that is a great center of the eyelid color. This color is called Harlow. It's a matte. It's what I use for crease. This color is called Anho, and it is not a super shimmer, but it has some shimmer to it. And that's a great color for depth, for smoking out, for lower lash line. And then the last two colors in this palette, the matte brown is called Seed, and the lightest shade is called Fay, and that's really good for highlighting for inner corner and for brow highlight. So I'm going to show you how I did this look. I have a bare face because I have experienced fallout with the matte brown Seed shade, and so I don't want to get anything on my face that's hard to remove. I am starting with one of my favorite brushes, a MAC 221. This is a small crease brush. Because I don't have a ton of room between my lash line and my brow line, I like using smaller brushes. And I am going in with this shade Harlow, which to me in the pan looks pretty light, but I have found with my skin tone, this is a really great crease color. And I'm going right up on the brow bone, not under the bone, but on the bone, because I want to lift the appearance of where my natural crease is. And the mattes in this palette, just like its big sister, the Glam palette, go on so nicely, so smooth, blend wonderfully, no skipping. You don't end up with blobs of color anywhere. I really think she has worked on the formulation of her mattes. They used to be kind of hit or miss in my opinion, and lately I feel like they're really, really well done. So again, out on the bone on the upper and then bringing it down into the crease on the inner portion of my eyelid. So there's that shade. And I will say that I have done this all over and done a one and done. Really enjoyed it. I've done 2 shades out of this, enjoyed it. I've done 3, liked it. I've done 4. I've never done all 5 of these. So today I'm going to try to do all 5 and see if I can make it look like a coherent look. There's one thing I do really like: smaller palettes. I get less confused when there's only 4 or 5 shades. A few days ago, Wayne Goss put up a one and done on his channel, and while I'm not doing one and done, I'm going to use some of the techniques that he used. So speaking of Wayne, this is the Wayne Goss 27S. It's you know, it's still a smallish brush. It's dense, but it's not super tiny. And what I'm going to do is visualize the line between the corner of my eye and the outside of my eyebrow and come in on that angle, tie it a wee bit underneath, and then go up to where I was shading for my crease. So you can see that very classic 7 shape. And I am going to take this Morphe brush. It doesn't have a number, but it is a flat brush. This brush I absolutely love for doing under my lashes. And so I'm tying it into that, what I applied up on top. And to start with, I'm only doing about the width of the brush. And then just with my finger, I'm gonna kind of blend that. All right. Another favorite brush of mine is this MAC 217. It's a wide, flat brush. You can do so much with this brush. I mean, you can use both sides of it. You can use the end and do real precision work. The more I use this brush, the more I appreciate this brush. And I'm gonna go in with Anho, this shade in the middle. And what Wayne did on his one and done look was he filled in that 7. I'm gonna use the Anho and fill that in. And I feel like in the pan, this shade looks really dark, but when it goes on, it's not super dark. And also you can see the complexity in this shade. You know, fundamentally at its base, it's kind of a taupe, but you can see some real green hues as well as a little bit of gray. I think it's a really complex and beautiful shade. So there I've filled in and done the outer third to outer half of the movable parts of my eye. And what I'm going to do now is use my finger and go in with Golden Flesh. And I'm just going to pat that in the center, but like the center third. So over some of that Anho that I already applied and into the middle. And I like my finger for shimmers. I just feel like the color goes on better. I've got better control. Just that little bit of oil that's on my fingertip makes it go on better, better control. All right, so I am going to take that 217 again, and I'm going to, where I had that Anho color, that's going to go down, and I'm just going to blend that upper crease line. So there wasn't much left on the brush, but anything that was is going to be down, right? And I'm getting a nice blending action on the top. I like that. All right, I am going in with a Reefer 3. This is a very small brush going into Faye, and going to do, I mean, there's so much kick up in the pan, not terribly surprised, and go into the inner corner of my eye, just for a little highlight. I am not going to highlight my brow today. I should say that I primed my eyes using the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. I've been using that a ton lately, and I really like it. And you can see, I should back up and say, the reason I like it, it gives me one shade of canvas for my eyelids, and I like that. I appreciate that. Now I'm getting some discoloration and dots and whatnot. But I don't always feel like with that I need to do an additional highlight under my brow bone. And yeah, I'm liking that. I am going to take just whatever I had left here on this Morphe brush and do a little bit more on my lower lash line. Maybe a little, I'm going to pick up a little bit of it and do the upper lash line just for a little more depth and definition out there. Yeah. I like that. I'm going to go finish my look and I'll be right back. And here is my final look. I did use a blending brush and pulled that seed mix, seed and anjo mix a little further in on my crease to give it a little more depth there. And you know, it's so pretty, it's so easy. I've said it before, we're wearing masks so much, so usually you could just see us from here up. So for some reason, I'm not into the big splashy eyeshadows. I just want a really pretty look. And this palette certainly delivers that. Hey, I know I'm closing in on 500 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed, would you do me the huge favor? Do the YouTubey things, subscribe, push me over 500. I would so appreciate it. Thank you so much and have a really fantastic day.